And good morning, dear ones. Robert Brzezinski with you here today for morning prayers. And I will tell you, there's, well, it looks like close to 6 inches of snow out there this morning in my driveway here in my lawn here in Colorado. Pretty interesting springtime in the Rockies. We gotta love it. So today is the 16th of April. I am Reverend Robert Brzezinski. This is Morning Prayers. And the whole idea is that we get together here on Facebook and YouTube live at 8:15 a.m. Mountain Time and 8:15 p.m. Mountain Time and pray for whatever comes up and what's ever in the room and what's ever going on. And oftentimes I have some guests with me, other ministers, other practitioners, really anybody that wants to pray. There's no requirements. If you want to jump on the broadcast with me someday and pray, let me know. Let's do it. And if you'd like to get your prayers in my prayer request book, my book here, I pray on this every day, several times a day. Pray with the requests and what people are asking for in here. So if you'd like to get your prayers in on the program, or if you'd like me to mention it in the prayer itself live here, happy to do that. Or just let me know and I'll get your prayer request in my book as well. And I do want to share one other thing that's going on that's kind of important. I'm doing another meditation mini retreat. I did one last Saturday. It was so much fun and want to do it again. So May 2nd, meditationminiretreat.gr8.com is the place where you can sign up. And it's on a love offering basis. So if you can, you send a few bucks, and if you can't, hey, I get that too. It isn't a big, I'm here to serve, and we're going to do these things regardless of finances and economy and money. This is about supporting each other. This is about being with each other. And I tell you, it's a fun retreat. Like I said, I just did it last week and it was really good. And the other cool thing is it's a 3 hour retreat. So that's why I call it a mini retreat. We'll gather together via Zoom, and it's this coming Saturday, 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 Eastern. Everybody in between, we can do the math. We know what it's like. So, okay, enough of that. Let's get back to what we're here for. We're here for prayer, and you know, the longer this is continued, the more I find myself, my family, settling into a different routine, a different rhythm. And here's the beauty of it: the rhythm of our household has become more intentional and it's less chaotic and it's less hectic and it's an awful lot less last minute. Like, oh, put your shoes on, let's go. So there's been a peace that's come over the house in some ways. And we're still dealing with all the other stuff of living together and not going out and stuff. But so, point being, the prayer this morning is for peace. And the idea is to be able to really look and see and identify where life has changed just in the last few weeks, but for the better. What changes have happened that you're happy with, that you like, that you feel are doing some good for you? So let's head to prayer. If you're comfortable in one of those spaces where, um, go ahead and close your eyes hmm, and just breathe. Breathe and be and relax. Hmm. Let yourself sink in. Let yourself sink into the chair that supports you, the chair that supports, and the floor beneath the chair that supports that, the foundation of your home below that supports the floor and the chair, Mother Earth beneath that, layer upon layer upon layer of support for your life. Recognize that right here. See, what I know is I know that each of those layers, each of those expressions of support is a different form, but still a form of God, of the one. I recognize in this moment there is only one God. That God is all powerful, all knowing, always present, never absent. I know that God is a creative force and a creative process. I know that God is the one self existent cause that is forever taking on form and abandoning that form in order to take on new form. I recognize that one in everything I see, in everything I hear, in everything that comes into my awareness and in my consciousness. It's all God. I recognize God in every snowflake and every budding tree, every budding flower. But most especially, I recognize God operating as my life perfectly, whole, complete, nothing missing, nothing absent. And as I know that truth of my life, I know that must be true of all life. No one missing, no one absent, no one denied. I recognize the power, the presence, the intelligence of God operating as everyone, everywhere, no matter what. Even in the politicians, even in those I may not agree with in this experience, or even those whose perspectives I can't see, I still recognize there is God there. That is a divine child of God, someone's divine child. So I know that each one across this entire planet has within the ability, the wisdom, the skill, the knowledge that's necessary for the evolution of their soul. It's necessary for the completion of their mission on this planet. That's absolutely vital and necessary for their experience of livingness. We are all made of the same stardust, and we are all expressing God in our uniqueness. Each one, everyone across this entire planet, no one absent. And so I recognize and I claim for each one that hears these words a deep sense of joining in that recognition. That there is an evolution occurring here on the planet at this time. And what I know is I know the form, the experience must be an outpicturing of consciousness. That's how God creates. Consciousness moves into form and is shaped by our thoughts, our individual thoughts, beliefs. And those thoughts and beliefs create an experience. So all of life right now, exactly what we're going through, what everyone is moving through, is an outpicturing of a consciousness, a belief, a thought that's been held and cast into the spirit, into the mind of God. And that means we can change the conditions based on having a new thought, based on having a new belief system, on changing our perspective. So I do that. I sit in the moment of choice, and I claim for each one that hears these words that same knowing. And we each sit in the moment of choice and decide, shall I forecast a future suffering? Shall I project into this creative mind even more discord or more division within the human world? Or shall I set in motion a vibration of love and creativity and joy? And let that become my demonstration. Let that become the reality of my world. See, what I know is I know humanity is at that choice point right now. And what I claim is I claim that there are more and more and more people upon this planet that through this experience are open and willing to hear the truth, are willing and open to set aside their human belief systems, their human constructs, are willing to set aside thoughts of doom and gloom and disaster and disease and division. None of that is true in the mind of God. There is no disease, there is no division, it's all a human construct. So we have the ability to shift that. Collectively, as humanity awakens to its spiritual magnificence, there are countless heartbeats turning towards the one, turning towards the light, turning towards the recognition that we are one family, we are in this together, we are creating a world that works for everyone. More and more each day. Because each day, more I hear a greater yes. More people waking up and saying yes to their own inner truth, to their own inner calling, to serve, to be, to express, to change the experience of life on planet Earth simply by changing our consciousness. And so it is during this time of rest and respite that I know this is happening, and I claim for those listening a deep sense of saying yes to their own calling, yes to their own change, yes to their own evolution, knowing that as each one awakens and rises up and says yes, that collective consciousness of the planet grows and grows, and we move to that place where there's more yes than there is no. And that day is upon us. I claim this day a greater yes than ever before. I claim for myself and each one that hears these words the experience of saying a greater yes to that which is calling, to that which we know as the truth of our lives. Together, as one, we thrive. Together as one, we evolve into the next great paradigm of living on planet Earth. And all is well. And all is well. So I am grateful in this moment for the truth that's being revealed, for the ability to be the conduit through which God speaks this truth, most especially grateful to know that there is a power greater than I on the job so I can get out of the way. I know it is not mine to do, it is God's doing. This is God's work. And I get to witness, and I get to show up, and I get to say yes at the direction of the great one, the only one. That power, presence, and intelligence that's moving all life. I'm so humbled and honored to be in a place of service at this time, but mostly to be witness to it. For it is an exciting time. So with this grateful heart, I release this word into the law that in fact has already said yes to this prayer, that is already operating upon this prayer. I say yes to that law, and I release the word and I let it be. I get my human nothingness out of the way, and I let the one God be God. And I invite you to join me this morning as we say together an affirmation of this truth. And so it is. And so it is. Look at that. Oh, thank you, folks, for being with me this morning. I am so grateful that you are here. And please do check out the good news a weekly podcast, but it's a 15-minute, once a week podcast. I've been episode number 40 just released this week. I'm dialing in on that 50. I'm pretty happy about that. Haven't so anyway, check out the good news. I will be back this evening, 8:15 p.m. Mountain Time, with evening prayers. And I'll tell you, if you're following my channel here, I got something fun happening this evening. I think it's about 5:30 Mountain Time that there's going to be a special announcement, and sorry, 5 o'clock Mountain Time. 5 o'clock Mountain Time. Check out the page. I'm gonna go live with a dear friend of mine, and it's a surprise what's happening. So anyway, I love you. I wish you all the best today. Stay healthy. If you're in Colorado, stay in and stay warm. We love you. We'll talk to you soon. Bye now.